Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Voices of Hult. This time our guest is Walter Paitoo. I want to introduce my friend. We kind of met like not long ago in my summer one courses. So welcome to Voices of Hult, man.
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Lydia.
Welcome to Voices of Hult, man.
Thank you. I've heard a lot about Voices of Hult.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
That's good. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I'm very happy I'm here today.
Of course. So, nothing. Tell us a little bit about you.
Wow. What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Where do you come from? Like a little bit of your story, you know?
Okay. It's a big question.
What are you studying?
Okay. Okay, so let's get the basics first. My name is Walter. Walter Kofi Showa Anand Paitoo.
Okay, man.
We're gonna try to put the full name somewhere.
See, that's why I don't always go by that. I always go by Walter Paitoo because it's going to raise a whole. But that's my full government name. That's the name in my passport. I live here in Boston. I've been in Boston for the past, give or take, about 12 years now. And I'm a current student here at Hult studying business analytics.
Nice. And where are you from?
I'm from West Africa, Ghana.
Ooh,
West
shout
Africa,
out.
Nice. But so, is it your first time here in Boston?
It's not my first time here in Boston. My first time here in Boston was in 2012 or 2013.
Okay.
Years ago.
10 years ago, exactly. I came here solely, purposely for school.
Okay.
For high school. At that time, I was supposed to be in high school. And I remember the town that we went in Boston, Saugus, which is about 35 minutes away from Cambridge. And I lived there. I lived there with my older brother, Albert.
Okay. Shout out to Albert.
Shout out to
Hi
Albert.
to Albert.
My older brother. So I lived there with him for two and a half years, going back and forth from home to school, and back home again. My life was pretty.
So you were doing a high school there,
I was
right?
doing high school there.
You were a proper high school student and...
Innocent.
Okay.
I was innocent.
Innocent until actually I've never told anybody this before. So usually every summertime I get to go back home to Ghana for break. And at the time that I came into the U.S., I came with a B1 visa.
Okay.
So B1 visa, it's like your visitor's visa. You come in and you go every 6 months. Yes.
The tourist visa.
Tourist visa, exactly. So I went back home and I was trying to go to the embassy, the U.S. embassy in Ghana, to renew my visa. And the consulate saw me and he asked me, he's like, well, how long were you in the U.S. for? And I'm like, I'm sorry? At that time, imagine me with a thick accent, big fat kid, Ghanaian kid. He asked me, how long were you in the U.S. for? And I told him I was there for school. And he said, were you there over 6 months? And I said, yes, because I didn't know that was a thing back then.
Very, very innocent, I see.
I'm telling you. So right there and there, I saw this man stamp my passport and wrote whatever he did on his laptop or his computer.
Goodness.
And he gave me back the passport. And usually in Ghana, if you go for an interview and they give you back the passport, it means you did not get the visa. So they are done with you. So in the passport, my stamp, it says blacklisted.
Oh, yeah.
You were in a blacklist.
I was on the blacklist.
Well, guys, since you saw our episode with Chantel, our visa coordinator, those are things that you don't have to do, okay?
Oh, man.
The do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts. I was in the blacklist, and something like that on me at that time, at that age, you could imagine how early you had to mature, because my whole life at that time, high school, was literally from the American system.
Correct.
So if I had to switch schools and go to Ghana, it would be like I would have to start all over again.
Yeah.
And that was something I couldn't really stop thinking about. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to move about, how to
go back to United States.
You know what I mean? It's like
that was your life.
You had so much potential, but it's like the chance is not being given to you. So that was when I realized that indeed I was a true Christian. That was when I found God. It sounds like I was not born into a Christian home.
Okay.
I was, but there's a difference when you were being told to go to church and when you actually wanted to go to church.
That's right.
That was when I realized that, you know what? Let me try this God. I've heard some good stuff about him in church. I've seen him do some stuff. Let me see if he could turn this thing around for me. And this thing happened.
How old were you?
I was just about 15 or 16 years old.
Okay.
I can imagine at 15 years you went back home to visit.
Yeah.
And
Didn't come
suddenly
back.
You changed your life.
A lot of my friends back in high school over here, the football team, they kept on emailing me, sending me messages. When are you coming back?
Yeah.
I can't say that I got blacklisted. They don't think like I'm a weird kid. So I was like, you know what? It was a family emergency. I can't come back. I'll see you next time. That's literally what I said. And it was heartbreaking. But
what happened that allowed you to go back to the United States?
At that stage, I approached God. No, I didn't see him, but
Yeah, of course.
Don't go that far, man. Don't go that far.
I got really closer to him, and through that, I got to meet a friend, Daniel Adolfo. He's actually in Penn State right now.
Shout out to him as well.
Yeah, I met Daniel in the embassy, and Daniel was working alongside one of the librarians who actually is in the embassy. Mm-hmm. So her role was to facilitate stuff for students who are potentially going to come to study in the U.S. from Ghana.
Okay.
So I told Daniel my problem. I told him, I'm like, yo, I'm blacklisted. I don't know.
Blacklisted, you know what to do.
Exactly. I don't know what to do. He didn't sound, or he didn't seem too shocked.
I was like, this is a daily thing for me. You know?
So it relieved me.
Yeah,
because nice. Something that I felt like was a big burden.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's it. I got you. So he was like, yo, I'm going to introduce you to the lady who was in the library. I forgot her name. I have to figure it out. But this lady pretty much sat me down every single time when I was in high school in Ghana.
Okay.
Every single time after class, I would go to her and she would sit me down, maybe read a couple of medical articles with me just to document it and put on her notes to show that Walter came here, Walter's making this initiative to go back into the States to further his education. And I'm telling you, this is like, I went to high school. I was able to graduate high school from AIS in Ghana, in East Legon. I was there for, I think, a year or a year and a half. I met some amazing people there too. AIS was amazing. Shout out to you guys, wherever you guys are. They're all over the world right now. And I was able to apply. I was able to apply for scholarships and schools and be able to get into better schools, actually. I got into Penn State, just to fast forward. But fast forward, when it got to the time of the interview, the first time you've been blacklisted, you go into the interview, you're going to think they're going to turn you down again. But this man saw me and he asked me just one question. He's like, what school are you going to? I said, Pennsylvania State University. Good school. He stamped it. He took the passport.
How you felt?
You know what, Rafa?
I can feel it.
You know what, Rafa? I don't know how to answer that question, but I remember it was early Friday morning, like around 8 a.m., because my interview was very early. So 8 a.m., my dad came out with me. He went to the embassy with me that day, and he saw me come out of the embassy. He was just parked outside.
And you were flying like 5 feet on the ground.
This man saw my face and the way I was walking. He's like, no, this kid got the visa. And I'm like, yes, we did. Yes,
sir.
we did. God did what he had to do. God did what he wanted to do.
Nice.
And with that, it kind of translated to me that, you know what, there might be a future laid for me here. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, correct.
That we unfold it. We all trying to find that one thing that we're.
So you see, like perseverance, like a continuing to work on what you really believe, and then brings you where you want and where you are right now.
Exactly.
As well.
It's at that time. It's just like the only thing that made sense.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see myself going back to school in Ghana.
Yeah.
If I did, none of this would have happened.
Yeah,
you know,
correct.
it's just. It makes sense. Like I started this, let me finish it.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
feels like part of you, and it comes kind of naturally, like to do it in a way. And then look at you now, like in this beautiful Bostonian city.
You know, God did amazing things. You know, Penn State, went to Penn State. I did medicine. I did 2 degrees actually. Did pre-med and liberal arts.
Okay.
And
Look at you.
it's not. It was not easy, bro. It's not easy. Did that. Went to medical school after Penn State.
So why medical school, if I can ask?
Oof, that's a deep question. You ready?
Oh, here we are. I'm in.
ready.
My dad wanted a doctor in the family.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So,
That's
Yes.
it.
you enjoy it? How was it?
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
good? How many years is that? It's like pre-med is like 3 years and then 2 more.
2 more years of medical school for my life. So I did a whole 8 years of medicine.
Wow.
Medicine took 8 years of my life, and
Were your dad happy?
oh, he was. I mean, I've been able to diagnose a lot of his medications for him.
Yeah.
To be able to tell him it's something that nobody could take away from me. That's education.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody could take education from anybody. You know, once you have it. So I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
there's an actual reason. There's a story behind that reason why I switched from pre-med.
What is it?
Yeah, I was gonna ask like how a pre-med, med,
Well, liberal
end up-
arts
liberal
as well.
arts
And
end
then
up in a
business
business
analytics.
school doing business analytics. Like
So
what happened?
let me ask you: have you ever coded before? Did you?
Oh no! In high school, in college, high school, I was biology,
Yeah, I would say.
Chemistry
Yeah,
and
correct.
yeah.
That's
Okay,
it.
so what was like the shift point, like in your career?
Boy. So this happened in 2017.
Okay,
2017. I remember I was wearing a blue polo shirt.
that day, I'm telling you, stick in his memory.
After that day, I couldn't Steve Bow him for 2 days. But
Yes.
it's a story. It's a story. So
I hear that.
I was taking this bio class, and this usually in pre-med majors you have a class and you have the lab. So the whole class as a total comes as 4 credits because the lab is going to be 1 extra credit.
Okay.
So this lab was called or was named Cadaver Lab.
Okay.
You know,
Pretty explicit the name.
explicit the name, but you know what, Lydia? At that time, young Walter, man, he did not.
Okay.
A literally again, innocent Walter.
You did not. I didn't.
Again.
I didn't bother you. Sometimes I walk around thinking that I'm a very nice person. I'm a very acceptable person. I wouldn't think no harm towards nobody. So usually I think that people are also thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving on the street, I know there's no reason why I will splash water on this lady if she's walking.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't want the same thing done to me.
Maybe, correct.
So I saw Cadaver Lab, Rafa, Lydia. I thought cadavers meant some type of special clay. Penn State was a big school. Like my graduating class was like 45,000 students.
Oh, wow.
And they have an amazing facilities. I wouldn't put it past them. So I thought there was some type of human body.
Fancy word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's actually a cute name for.
They had to differentiate themselves somehow.
Bro, I'm telling you, I walked into this lab my first day, and I walk into the lab, and the TA at the time gives us like coats. We put on a coat for your hat to reduce radiation, your gloves and everything, even your shoes gets.
Okay. So it was not for rain.
It's not for rain.
Okay.
It's not for rain. So still, I'm thinking, whoa, there must be some type of special clay. So we walk in. The first thing that I smell, and I still smell it now, is ethanol.
Okay.
Ethanol, we know, kills bacteria.
Okay.
And
Yes, we know.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
it
yeah.
keeps stuff dry,
Okay.
Okay.
so it doesn't prolong.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to. I want to build the story up. So I get into the lab and I see 4 huge fridge boxes, and I'm like, whoa. Okay, so now this is actually getting a little bit serious because I smell the ethanol, I smell the alcohol. I'm like, yo,
Warning alert.
something is going on. So my TA opened the fridge boxes of the first dead body.
Red flag.
Red flag. And I saw a dead body bag.
Duh.
Wait, and I pulled the TS out. I'm like, yo, chill. Check this out. Is there a dead body in this bag? And my man is like, do you know what a cadaver mean?
Yeah.
And I asked him again, yo, is there a dead body in this bag? And my man saw that I was not okay. Yo, y'all laughing. At the time I was having a deep moment. And I realized that, you know what? He asked me, do I want to go home?
Yeah.
But You know, I'm a tough guy.
He saw you like, is that for real?
That's
Like, you were like, yeah, you want to go home?
Yo,
No.
I do want, but I'll stay.
but I cannot say that, bro. I can't say that.
Like,
So
no.
I'm a big boy, guy. I got this.
I took it in. I'm like, you know what? Just give me 5 minutes. I got this. So 5 minutes passed and we saw the body. So if the way it was that day was more of like an introduction day.
Okay.
So we're going to be
chill day.
You know what I mean? So we're going to be seeing, if we're looking at the head or the brain, they're going to cover the rest of the body.
Oh goodness, I don't feel good right now.
And you see the face of the man. Sometimes they take out the eyeballs and they put it in some type of liquid right next to the body, so you see it. They tried to make it as non-gross as possible. I don't know if that's a word, but I just invented it. They just try to make it not gross as possible. And credits to them, because, I mean, who can preserve a dead body?
Introduction. So,
So what did you do, Ron? I'm curious.
Oh, I mean, I put my hands behind my back.
I'm not touching anything.
That's my man. And one of the bodies, usually they have like a placard.
Okay.
Stating the name of the person, where they lived, the age, and what killed them.
Little bio, yeah.
And surprisingly, one of the men who was laying there dead, he was 78 years old. His first name was Walter.
You're like, bro.
The coincidence.
Yo, so at that time, I saw that name and I'm just like, yo, because that name is not common.
No.
Well, apparently.
You know?
Out of like all the different names, 4 and 1.
I
was
am
this.
telling you, like at that moment, I would have told you that we were on the 7th floor in that building. I would have told you that we're only two Walters in that building, and one was dead and one was living. That's how serious it was. That's how serious it was. So, and I told my TA quickly, I'm like, yo, I'm not going close to that man because I'm not going close to the man. I need to explain myself. So, after that day, I realized that, you know what? Because besides the being scared part, where I couldn't sleep in my room for the almost 2 nights, I realized that I really couldn't get over the fact that my peers or my people were picking up a human heart. Donated. The body was donated by these people before they died. They take out the heart and they squeeze it and they be playing with it.
Oh goodness.
And my part is like, yo, that's someone's grandmother.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't sit right well with me. And the thought of why would you donate your body if this is what is going to be done? It's done for studies, like
Correct. For a good reason, but still it's a person. Yeah.
you know. So I really couldn't separate the emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what like made you. Let's have a switch in your career. So you was like, okay, let me go to the least like a job that I could ever touch anything with no feelings. I'm kidding, but like Excel is gonna be my lover for the rest of the year.
Python, they call it.
Oh, boy.
Oh my God! Now you're surrounded by amazing company, right?
It's crazy. It's the switch into business analytics. Even coming up to me now, even getting admitted into Hult was not an easy thing. I had a whole epiphany. I was coming from Worcester with my friend Kofi. We usually take trips from. We have a family who lives down in Worcester, so usually every night we just go. We see them. We're coming back, and I think we're coming back around 2 a.m.
Okay.
And usually at that time, he's my brother. He lives here in Boston, right here. So we're just talking, and some points in our conversation, you know, when you're with a person that you know for a very long time, you could go deep into conversation.
Of course.
And he asked me a question. I don't remember exactly what question he asked, but he asked me some type of question that I don't think he noticed this, but it made me realize that, yo, do I still want to be in the medical field? Because at that time, I was still in medical school.
Oh, yeah.
Even after the cadaver situation, I still stayed in the medical school for 3 more years.
But still, made you,
Before switching, because I didn't know what next career to pursue,
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
So I just decided to stay on the only thing I knew. So, but after that night, and I'm like, you know what, bro? Let me go home. I didn't tell him this. I was just thinking, let me go home and look up schools that could support, that can help me narrow down what I want to do. And I didn't sleep till 6 a.m. that day. I searched for schools in Boston, George Washington, Harvard, Northeastern. I even looked back at Penn State. Nothing, no option. Then something popped up, Cambridge, just 40 minutes away from where I was living, or Quincy. And they said business analytics. I'm like, okay. So my experience is healthcare.
Correct.
Business analytics is just analyzing data, collecting data to be able to transform data into whatever destination, or to answer an objective business goal question. And I'm like, I could do something with this.
Yeah.
So quickly I applied, and God being so good, the next morning, 9 a.m., Eleanor called me.
Okay.
And Eleanor, I'm like, who's Eleanor? She's like, she is a recruiter from the school, Hult,
Like an enrollment advisor or something?
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, I just applied like literally 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like, are you guys really that early to want students? Like, I thought at first I'm like, wait, you guys
only want to apply?
you know what I mean? But she's like, well, I just received your transcripts and this and that and the third, and we might have an issue. I'm like, oh boy, what's the issue? She's like, your transcript, my transcript was medicine and liberal arts. You don't have the prerequisites we want for business analytics for the master program.
She's like, are you sure you want to do this?
That's literally, that's what she was asking me. And I'm like, Eleanor, I'll be honest with you. This is the path that I'm on. After Penn State, I'm in medical school right now.
Okay.
And I want to change. Can you help me? I got in. And you know what's crazy? Not only did I not have the right prerequisites to get into the class, I got into the class. I actually became the president of the class.
Nice.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay, so you are the HSA for
HSA, yes.
your cohort, right?
Yes, that is Hult Student Association. So you're like the forefront of the student, between the students and the administrative team on campus.
What do you do as an HSA? We've had a few HSAs with that
already,
before,
yeah.
So probably our audience already know, but what are you doing as an HSA?
Okay, so HSA.
Actually, to introduce a little bit like the HSA, you have to be nominated. So like you can, nominate yourself,
Right.
But then it stands like from the other people. So like from the people of your cohort,
vote
of
for you.
your
To vote,
exactly of your course,
Yeah.
that you have to be nominated. So why first of all did you nominated yourself, and second, what do you think that
boy.
the other people saw in you?
You just wanted the whole story.
Oh yeah, man, here we are.
Okay, so the first day we got into Hult, I think it was somewhere in September.
Yeah, September 22nd.
22nd, all right, around that time. And literally on the 8th floor, we met in the 8th floor. The room has the red, I think the 8th floor, all of it is red.
Yeah.
We met there, and Dean Patrick was talking about HSA representative for the class. Mm-hmm. And some reason I realized that, I don't know, I think I could do this. And the only reason why I wanted to do this was because back in high school, back in Ghana, when I was getting my education, when I was blacklisted, I had the opportunity to also be the class president of my team or my class. Yeah. And I didn't take that because the school approached me and they told me this. Nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. But they approached me and they told me this. And I told them that, I'm just here to be in good standing with the school or with the embassy.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take upon no roles.
Correct.
But that option was there. I could have taken it, but I didn't. But this time it came, and I'm like, let me try it out and let me see what is going to happen.
You were like more in an active role.
In an active role. And my class is a total of students of 75 people. 75 people all over the world. We're talking about Indians, talking about Namibia, Germany, all over the world we're talking. And we had to have an election. I was going against two of my very close friends. We're actually closer right now.
Nice.
Jenna and Artyom. Artyom is from...
Artyom, yeah, I know Artyom.
You know Artyom, and Jenna is from... Oh, my God, where's Jenna from? Oh, boy, where's Jenna from? Oh, man, she's going to kill me if she sees this.
Very close friend of yours,
Jenna?
I see.
We can cut this part, maybe? Nah, I'm just kidding.
I'm so sorry, but I will remember later.
I just blacked out.
I just blacked out. It happens sometimes. But so we were running an election, and it was between us three. And miraculously, I got elected as a class representative. And these are students filled with people 40 years old, 35, 36, like people with kids. And I'm like, if y'all could see this role inside of me to be able to take heed, then I'm actually giving myself low credits and actually really deserve.
Yeah. Actually, like the role of HSA is literally to aggregate all of this diversity. It's not just like a matter of cultural, as you were saying, but as well like age and then like, background. People from a med school can, speak with people who studied economics and then like another person that studied art and this and that, So it's like our role of aggregating and finding similarities, I would say, despite the differences.
And be the voice.
Exactly.
Of Hultians.
Of Hultians.
That has to be echoed all over the world. See, representative.
Exactly. That's going to be our slogan, I'm telling you.
But it's all this is just testimony to God.
Yeah.
This is nothing that I've done. We all have special skills and abilities that it works for our good.
Perfect. So talking about again like the voices of the Hultians and sharing all of this diversity, we do have a question from our previous guest.
Oh boy.
And that's our basically tradition to close the episode.
Okay.
So the question is, if you could give your younger self an advice, what would that be?
If I could give my younger self an advice, what would that be? Try new things. The household that I've been raised, it's I wouldn't say they're close-minded, but they are close-minded. We don't really get the chance to
Traditional, let's call it.
You know what I mean? They just try to keep you safe, and you can't blame them for that. You can't fault them. So there are a lot of things that I was scared to try when I was living with my parents back in Ghana. That me being here in the U.S., I haven't been to Ghana in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
So in the past 4 years, what I've been able to do by myself over here now, by just being able to stay open-minded, is beautiful. And the reason why it's beautiful is because it's going to be more beautiful. Staying open-minded.
Okay.
That's what I would advise my younger self.
Well, thank you very much for sharing this. And do you have a question for our next guest?
Okay, so since we're being deep,
Let's go.
What was your first initial thing that you did after your first breaking point?
Everyone, I think, has got like a breaking point sometimes.
Everyone has a breaking point. What was the first thing that you did? Did you first cry? Did you pray to God? Did you fall down on your knees to call your mom, your brother, your sister? What was the first thing that you did when you realized your breaking point? The reason why I asked is because I knew my breaking point and I know what I did, the first thing I did. And that questions or that goes to your core morals as a person.
Okay.
So for an aspiring youth or the world changes from the school, I believe we need to know who we really are. So answering that question at least gets you a step closer.
That's actually your secure place that you are going back to in a very difficult moment, I would say.
Yes.
So again, thank you very much for sharing this. It was a pleasure to have you here, and
we invite everyone to try to answer that question too.
Exactly.
And also before closing the episode, happy Pride.
We do have an amazing heart here in the back, so enjoy.
Hult is amazing.
All Hult campus has been like decorated by so many volunteers, and you can see like super colorful club campus.
Wow. Well, also yes. Well, thank you everyone for watching us. Till the next time.
Bye.